Well, let's say I know that Creator 8 has its tactics against my housing. But what I want to know is, what is the motion of the creation around myself? Because if you all you want to do is announce yourself is here, so now where do I live, and tell me about yourself being elsewheres, and you want to send me off with my order has need for food, clothing, and shelter, and I sleep in the shelter. I need that. You want to talk to me about myself, where I'm going to get what I need is elsewheres, and everybody says elsewheres. Well, so what's your motion? Because I am not alive that way. I am alive that I took Jesus' house. I took the house of Jesus because Jesus did not alive in there. And that means you don't have a motion over me, even though you think it's fascinating that you just ran me around this world for 45 years of alive, asking me, now that you're here, where do I live and where am I going to get what I need? And then everywhere I am, I have people saying that I should be elsewhere, asking somebody else. And then when I get to somebody else, I should be elsewhere, asking somebody else. I don't live in the state of Wisconsin anymore, and I'm in the state of Nevada as due deceased. I would like to decease the state of Nevada to be the state of California deceased, to be the southwest of the United States deceased. Something like how Israel and the surrounding countries are called the Middle East, but they're not really the Middle East. Wisconsin, where I was living at the time, is the Middle East of the United States, but it's called the Midwest, and that's not true. It's the Middle East of the United States, and Israel is not related to Wisconsin and Karma. That is a place where people from America are deported and they speak foreign, don't know what wording over there. And they're sometimes Jewish, sometimes they're Arab, and they're not real aware of how they were formed over there was because they're deported from the United States. And this is all very thick and complicated excuse for why you keep talking to me about myself. I have to say it on the camera. If I told you that in person, I knew what your tactics are against myself, you would do it to me. Yeah, I am telling it to the camera. So what is the consequence to yourself that you did something against myself, and this is how I, quote, fights back with you, that I'm saying it on camera and I'm posting it on YouTube? Well, you owe me all the money that it is that I'm not surprising you with that this is a back and forth. You owe me that you never really spoke to me about your anger with yourself, that you want something out of me that I'm not. Well, you owe me Undo It. You owe me like Carrie Underwood singing the song Undo It. Should I go down the list of some of you? Mrs. Tina Pogrant, Donna Yampol Moser, and then she's using the name Trump and threatening, and she's still writing signatures for banking Moser, and I don't know how she gets banking, because when I go into a bank, I don't get offered anything. That means she's not offered any money. Nobody offered Donna any money for Becky because I'm God. Well, I can't use the money. I want to dismiss it all. From 1980 all the way until the year 2002, and I also want to dismiss the other money that she gave elsewhere because she didn't give it kindly. She didn't give money when I was in Illinois. She didn't give money when I was in Wisconsin. After Illinois, so the year 2005, year 2006, she didn't give money. She gave money to Charles Toh directly in the year 2000 and, I don't know, sometime before 2025 when he went missing. He was showing me checks that he wrote her, that she wrote him. I'm saying it as the overlord. I'm lying here. The overlord, he wrote her checks. That's not true. She wrote him checks. What was the bank? Maybe U.S. Bank. But how did she get U.S. Bank? Because U.S. Bank is in Arizona. I don't know U.S. Bank in Arizona. When I was in Arizona, there was no U.S. Bank for me, from Donna or from anyone. So how did she get banking? Well, I don't have banking. With all the extreme methods that she might have banking free in her purse for somebody who's making her mentally unstable, I'm not going to help you with that. No, I actually think we owe another world after this, that I am just the king and I sit around and watch that you're bringing your problems to myself and you're sorry, right to myself. Because, well, you don't use the world in consumption, that you that you can live it out, that God created a mind for you and you ascended in your mind, that you understood how to be a shunt and get a death and a jail and a prison. You don't. Well, you need to do something else for me. You need to do something directly to myself because you got up in my personal space and offended myself. How are you going to make it up to me if you did that and nobody is really influencing you to be a higher being? Well, you're not supposed to be anything above a shunt, but you don't have deceased right here. I'm going to die out of the formed world, out of my prejudice, and you're going to still be here in the threatening and in the karma, and your human forms are still formed, and you still have your genitals stolen from myself, is how you have genitals at all. Because I am aliving that you have genitals at all, and they are illegal genitals. You can't put genitals on God and say you need genitals to carry on with that you don't know who he is. And that's what you've been doing to me. Well, you need to come back to me with your sorry, and you need to be showing me that you're in a great amount of pain, and that you are sorry that you made that pain for yourself. I need to hear it, that if you're being punished by God, who's creating you, because I'm being created this way in this God form, I'm not the one who would deliver the punishment. I'm supposed to see it, and I'm supposed to be created myself, that I would feel relief that it finally was elsewhere's, not myself. You have to stop blaming me because I have terrible mental problems because you threatened my address. Yes, and I'm not an address. I'm not in the outside of the building ever. There are people on the outside of the building that are threatening me. They know where I am, and that's disturbing me mentally inside of the building, and I am not a building, and that's not enough. I don't want to help you with that. I don't want to have mental problems that you get anything out of. I don't want to have a single thought in my mind for you. That is to be purged. And you would be the one who's being purged because I'm accumulating the debt here. The debt needs to be elsewhere's purged out of whoever got something out of me. Exploiting myself. So when you're in a great amount of pain that God is punishing you, you need to acknowledge that you're sorry to who and why, and not just that you're sorry that you are yourself in a great amount of pain. You didn't do it to yourself. When I am God is alive right here, and you need to understand that in your great amount of pain. That means it has to be in that you are feeling that you are not God to yourself anymore. You would call that insulted, but you have to be God to be insulted. That's what's wrong with you. You insulted yourselves. You say the word insult and you don't understand it. You are blaspheming the word insult. I'm none higher than me, deceased, and I'm not supposed to be insulted. The word insult is beneath myself, but I have that I am insulted because you talk to myself. Yeah, you're not supposed to speak to me. I got insulted that way. If that was why you did it, mission accomplished. And I know what it feels like to be insulted is really stressful because I'm supposed to punish that myself if I was elsewhere. But here I'm supposed to wait for a God that's under myself, a lower God, to solve that problem for me. Sure, but he didn't solve that it was never happening to myself. That's what's wrong with that God. He didn't have anything to fight for. You didn't believe in a God above yourself and fight for me. You just wanted to show me everything that was wrong with the world. I can't fight you all off. I'm due that you know how the door has hinges and it latches closed and it locks with a locking on the doorknob, and above the doorknob with a bolt lock. There's that to keep you out, but I should also be physically fighting with each of you to keep you out of the door locking that I need. And I don't fight with you because I eat. Wow, whose idea was that? I need to be 10 feet tall, and I need to be putting all of you out of my residence by physical force, because that's all you believe in once you offend your own body. I don't have a way to speak to you. I'm not actually asking God to help me with that. You please don't hurt me because you're due to be punished by me elsewhere. And that's true if I can put you in the pain myself, but I am still me. I'm not giving up myself as none higher than me right here, and that's my order. well, that God that is doing something wrong is going to have to ascend and do something about it. He has to come closer to myself. I'm not none higher than me, and I'm in this body, and I'm all there is to me. That's not what makes me none higher than me. That's my little joke about my little self, which is named Becky in this world, but it's elsewhere. It doesn't have a name right here. I am God deceased, and I am that small. And the size of a 3-year-old is how small it can be. And it doesn't speak because that's all it would tell you is I'm God deceased in this God form, and I don't. It's not true that I don't move. Everything is true. I'm not moving it now.